just keep realizing with every passing day that so much is on the line in this election. So much. Really the future of the state. And we've been saying that for a while, but the problem is when you have public systems that you built over decades, including a university system, and then you've been dismantling it year after year, you reach a point where you're almost at a tipping point. And certainly, I think we see that right now this year with the budget, because we have the national economic meltdown added to our local ongoing problems, right? So, because I'm very involved with Yes on 25, I wanted to talk with you guys about that. And then I have a few other recommendations. There's a lot of ballot measures that are really going to determine the future of the state. Well, just in terms of Prop 25, as you guys know, we're one of 3 states in the country that require a 2/3 vote to pass a state budget. We're one of 14 states that require a 2/3 vote to raise taxes, and we are the only state in the country that has a 2/3 vote to pass the budget, 2/3 vote to increase taxes, simple majority to lower taxes. So you can see how that's gone over time, and once you lower them, you can never get them back when you need the money. And we also allow the governor to blue pencil anything the governor wants in the budget. So the result of that has been this gridlock. As people have said, in the old days, when you had to buy a vote for the budget, it would be a swimming pool in my district. Last year, when we had to give in to the demands so that we could get 2 Republican votes in the state Senate to pass a budget, it was a constitutional amendment, and it was $2 billion worth of tax cuts, corporate tax cuts. And this is at a time when we were cutting education, we were cutting higher ed, the whole thing. And it just became clear that it was untenable to try to have any transparent democracy in the state. And for me, it's been a very big thing, because what I've experienced every year is, since we have a given that Republicans will never vote to raise revenues, and that's assumed, it's a given by everybody. So then, if there's less money in the general fund, the question comes, what do you cut? And in recent years, well, number one, the cuts that would be required have been so draconian that nobody wants to vote for them. And that's where you end up with the borrowing and the fund shift and any little sleight of hand, so we can pretend this is going to get us through the next year so that we can say we have a budget. But what also happens is Democrats would negotiate against themselves to say, what can we cut? Well, it wouldn't hurt too much if we cut this. It wouldn't hurt too much if we cut that. And so every year you shave the essential state institutions more and more, and then all of a sudden there's really nothing left to cut. So that's why this year, for example, the governor's budget eliminated child care, subsidized child care, eliminated CalWorks. Would have made us the only state in the country with no safety net for people to help them get back on their feet. Because the thing that really worries me is that you get to a point where there's no trust in government. Nobody can tell who's accountable for anything. People lose hope in government. They stop voting. And if that happens, folks, we're lost, because nobody will be there to really speak for people.